If you're wondering how you can create a landing page for free, this video is for you. But keep in mind that this is part of a playlist where I talk about how you can create a marketing funnel, understanding your offer, how you can get the best results with creating a marketing funnel, and why some don't work. So keep that in mind as you go through this. If you get stuck here or if you finish this, that there's other lessons you can go through. Now, I do want to lay down a general idea. So this video is going to have four main parts. But before I go through those four main parts, I want you to understand that a marketing funnel or even a sales funnel, the main idea is how do you get people to come to your business, to start working with you? How do you build up this bank of leads while you are busy doing something else? So regardless of all the technical stuff that we're doing or choosing the software and how to do the autoresponder, we're really just trying to do something simple. We're thinking about our customer and we're trying to lead them on a journey so that they work with us and they know more about us, and we're pre-educating them before we get on the phone or before they buy a product from us. So that I want you to keep that in mind. So don't let all the technical stuff or, does it look the right way? That stuff is important, but it's not as important as you actually thinking about your customer and making sure that you're solving their problem when they get into your marketing funnel. All right, so the first thing that we're going to start with is what you need. What's needed to actually complete this video and complete your landing page is you need software. Not only do you need software, but you also need a domain. A domain is the URL someone types in or clicks on to actually see your landing page. And then number two is we actually have to set up the landing page. I'll go through how you can create landing pages quickly by using templates and just making sure that you're not trying to overdo something, because we want to get it done and then we want to improve it on time. So keep in mind that we're just trying to set up the landing page. We're not going to ever launch with the one that is you're using 6 months from now. We need to get something done and then improve it over time. And number three is we have to make sure that your domain is actually integrated with your landing page software. So I'll show you how to do that. In these examples, I'll be using GrooveFunnels. You can use whatever type of landing page software you want, whether it's ClickFunnels, Leadpages, Unbounce, Kajabi, any type, it doesn't matter. I'm really giving you the strategy, but what I walk through in these examples is going to be GrooveFunnels because it's free. And then the last part is going to be what are some little tips and tricks that you can do to make sure that people come to your landing page. It looks good on mobile when they click buttons. Should you use a pop-up or should you have a form? So I'll go over some of those in this video. The other videos are going to go over some other things that we do once they actually opt in. So let's go ahead and jump into using GrooveFunnels and how you can set up your first landing page for free. All right, so on my screen, I have GrooveFunnels. You can see here, you can build websites, do it all for free. So if you're looking to do it for free, this is what you can use. One thing to keep in mind is that GrooveFunnels is still in beta. So what that means is that there's parts that they're still working on, and I wouldn't recommend them for your email. I wouldn't recommend them for some of the things that they have here. Really, all I'm going to recommend them for at this point is creating Groove pages, which would be comparable to a ClickFunnels or Kajabi landing page or ConvertKit landing pages. That's all we really want to use them for at this point. So hopefully you do have another email marketing system that you're using. But if you don't, I'll kind of give you some examples of other software you can use. So the first thing that you'd want to do is go over here and click Get Started if you don't have a GrooveFunnels account. You can sign up for free. If you sign up with the link below in this video, they will buy me a coffee or however much their referral fee is. But if you have an account, that's great. Go ahead and use that one. You can also follow along just to see if this is something that you would like. But let's go ahead and say that you've set up your account. The next thing that you're really going to start doing is going within their dashboard and going to the section that says Groove Pages. That's where I'm at right now. And it shows me some of the sites. These are just sites that I've created. This is the first demo that I did as I was setting things up for you all. But let's just go ahead and run through this very quickly so that you can get back to your life and the things that you want to do. So the first thing that you're going to do to create a landing page is click New Site. I know you might be thinking, well, I'm not creating, what's the difference between a site and a landing page? Same difference. Website or landing page in GrooveFunnels is the same thing. So as you can see, as soon as you click that, you have the option to create a new site. We can create a single page, complete site, we can create funnels, or we can have templates. So in this example, we're not creating a single page. We're not creating a complete website, which you can. We're creating a funnel. So if you're on the free program, you can just click free. It's going to show you all of the templates that you get. If you're looking to create a marketing funnel, you can click whichever tag that you want. So because I'm not sure who's using this, what plan you have, I'm going to click free, and then I'm going to click this sales and booking funnel. So once I click select, it's going to give me a pop-up here. I can put in the name. I'm going to type in YouTube, because you're probably watching on YouTube, demo. So once I click start building, it's doing its thing. It's putting together a funnel for me. It's going to have several pages in it. Depending on which funnel you pick, you're going to have several pages. So now that we have this new screen, you can see that it's updated. Now let me just give you a quick overview of what you can do. So there are blocks you can add to a page, which is right here. And if I open it up, it'll give you an example of if you want to start from scratch. We're not starting from scratch. Then there's elements that you can add. Elements are different types of headings, different types of lists, different types of media, forms, all those types of things are considered an element. So you have a block, and then within that block, you can actually put different elements. Then we have pages. As you can see here, we really don't have any pages. That's why it says it looks a bit empty here. Now, a page would have been if we would have selected single page on the previous screen, but we didn't select that. We select funnels. So as you guessed it, we go to funnels. Now, once we go to funnels, we'll see here. Let's see if I can make this a bit bigger. It says funnel 1 and 5 pages. Now, the first thing that I want to do is really just create a simple funnel. We're going to have a landing page, and then after they give you the details, we're then going to send them to a thank you page. Now, this is what I went over in What is a Marketing Funnel video. Make sure to go check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get rid of some of these pages. We don't need 5. So let's just look through real quick. If you're following along and you're using the same exact funnel I created, we're going to leave this first page that says home. But what we're going to do is click on the 3 dots and rename it and call it opt-in, because we want someone to opt in to whatever we're giving away. Now, the next thing is that we could use a checkout page, but we're not. Many reasons why. To keep this short, I'm just going to say delete it. And then we have a booking page, a thank you page. I'm going to go ahead and click on this thank you purchase. I know that I'm going to delete it. Actually, that's not bad. Let's see if it's the same way, same look. Yeah, it's the same way. So we're going to delete this thank you purchase and then confirm. Now I have 3 pages. So the first page that I know we're going to have is an opt-in. Now, depending on your business and depending on what you decided, so are you trying to get more customers, meaning that you want them to download a guide, and then after they read that guide, they can click a link and then become a customer? Or after they opt in on that first page, do you want them to book a session with you that you maybe use Book Like a Boss or Calendly? So I'm going to leave these 2 examples here. And by 2 examples is we have booking and we have thank you. You only need 1, but I'm going to show you both. So this would be after someone opts in, there's a video, and then there's a chance for them to book a calendar session with you. Now, if you don't want them to book, it could just be, hey, thank you so much for giving us your info. The info you requested is on its way to your inbox. So let's rename these. We do have our booking, and let's just call this one, instead of thank you booking, we're just going to call it thank you, so that you all following along know that I'm referring to either or. And one more other thing that I want to do now, as we're setting this up, we're just trying to build the structure so that as we go through and we build it later on, it makes much more sense to you. So we have our opt-in. I'm going to click on the 3 dots again, and then I'm going to click Edit Settings, and I'm going to give the page URL right here. I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to call this free guide. Let's just say I'm giving away a free guide. It could be a video series. It could be many different things. But also on the page setting is where we could change the page name, where we could change the URL, the page title. Let's just say free guide on YouTube. And I'll show you where all this stuff is later. We can give it meta keywords. This is all SEO type of information, so I won't go over the SEO part. We can add, if you have a Facebook pixel, if you have Google Analytics or Google Tag Manager, any type of tracking, you would put that here in this part where it says codes include. And normally with those type of codes, we'll go in the head. And then if there's a particular image we want. So for now, all I'm gonna do is change the page URL and click, and actually let me take that and click save, just the check mark. So you see here, it says opt in and the page name is free guide. We're moving along. We haven't done any landing page stuff. We're just setting things up. And I want to set it up first so that we know that people are gonna go through a certain path. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing with the booking. Is we're gonna edit the settings. We're going to change the the URL, the page URL, and then we'll just call this booking free guide, and we'll just leave it like that. I can go through, I can update everything here, but I'm not. So we'll just click check mark, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the thank you. We'll click the 3 dots, edit settings, and then here we'll just do TY because that's much faster, and then free guide. So now I know that all of these pages are going to be in a certain type of look. It's going to be easy for me to use these links, and you're going to see why that matters here in just a bit. So now let's go to the thank you page. The opt-in page. The opt-in page is the same name as a landing page, as a squeeze page. There's different names, but it's the same idea. So now that we're here, we can actually start editing the page now. But we don't want to do that just yet. We want to do one more thing, but now we're ready to start editing it. And as we go through the different pages, it's easier to recognize which one we want to work on. But before we do that, we want to do number 2. Number 2 is actually get this set up with our actual host or our registrar. The reason we want to do that is as we're figuring out the design, our colors, and all those types of things, making sure that our domain is connected can take anywhere from 48 to 72 hours. So we don't know how long it's going to take. It might take 2 hours. We want to get that set up now and out of the way so we don't have to worry about it. It's a little bit more work, but that's why I want to get it done now before we actually work on the page. So one thing that we have to do is have a domain. I recommend buying your domain name with DreamHost. Now you can buy it with anyone, but if you buy it with DreamHost, this is one I bought for this example. It's called Traffic Champs. Now, whenever you buy a domain with DreamHost, this is what it looks like. You buy the domain and it's just parked and it says DreamHost. This is what I want to use for my landing page. So I want someone to click on trafficchamps.com/free guide. Once they do that, it's going to take them to my landing page that's actually hosted on GrooveFunnels. Now, if you don't understand that, that's fine, but it'll work. So now that I know that I purchased this through DreamHost, and it's very simple to do that. There's a link below. You can click on that and it'll give you more information on how to do it. But let's go ahead and pop on over to DreamHost. Now, I'd log back into DreamHost. I would go to domains. Then I would go to manage domains. Once I click on it, so from the screenshot, you can see now it says DNS. I want to click on DNS. As soon as I clicked on DNS, it pulls me up to this page right here where it shows my DNS records for Traffic Champs. Now, what I want to do is yours is going to look a little bit different and you're going to have actually some different records here, but this is how you get the records. Go to publish. Let me click off of here. You would click on publish, edit domains. This is how we're going to add a domain to GrooveFunnels. And then I have all of these options. I don't really care about any of that. All I want to do is click add domain. Once I click add domain, it's going to ask me which one. What we put here is the one that you purchase. Whatever you purchase, that's what goes in right here. And because I purchased Traffic Champs, I'm going to click that. I'm going to keep Groove Pages selected. We're not worried about anything else. And then when it says, would you like us to host your site for you? The answer is yes. We do want them to host the website for us. because that way you don't have to pay for hosting. They can host it for you, but there's a lot of stuff there. But for now, we just want to click yes, please, and click save. Once I click save, it's going to do all of this stuff within GrooveFunnels to start setting it up. And it's going to tell me to log into my registrar. My registrar is DreamHost. And then it's going to say, once you log in, replace the name servers with these right here. So this says apollo.ns.cloudflare.com and then uma.ns.cloudflare.com. You can see I've already done that. And how I did that is once I was in DreamHost, I clicked on change, and then I changed it from NS, NS2, NS3. I deleted those, and then I'll use my own name servers. So I'm just going to cancel that, but that's what you would do if this is your first time. You would come here, click I'll use my own name servers, put in these records, whatever you have. You might have something different than what I see here, but whatever you have here, you would put that in and then click save. But because mine are already done, I'm good to go. So now you can see here, if I go back to traffic or if I go back to DreamHost, I now have my website set up, and this says the status is pending because it's going to take anywhere from 48 to 72 hours, or it might take an hour. We don't know. So now that that's done, I'm just going to click update. And one thing that I could do here is where it says, please select a domain from the drop down below. I can now choose Traffic Champs for this landing page. Now I don't have to, but for this example, we'll just leave it here. In the next video, I'll select it and kind of walk you through. But while it's setting up, we can now start working on the actual landing page. So let's go through this really quickly. Now, once you're working on a landing page, I always recommend that you use something that has a template. Now, when you're working with GrooveFunnels, it's awesome. There's tons of videos out there. But once I actually click in an area and I click this little pencil icon, what will happen is that it will start giving me options that I can play around with. So let's make my screen size a little bit smaller. I'm not going to put any copy or images or text. I'll just delete a few things. Let's just say I don't like this section right here, so I'm going to get rid of it. What are others saying? I may or may not like this section. I'm not sure. I can click this little arrow up, which will take me to the container. I can click here. I can add whatever text I want. So it's super simple. This is where you would come in. You would add your logo. You would add your copy, whatever headlines you have. You could replace this with your own video that you have on the landing page. And you would go through and just create this landing page. Now, I'm not going over how to design it correctly, but I do want to give you one really good tip here to make sure. One thing that I think is really important is usually shorter landing pages can work really well because people can make a really quick decision. So as you're going through your landing page, what you don't want is any other type of links, usually at the top. You want people to get a good idea of what you're doing and then be able to either give you their information or leave. Now that's really important to understand because a lot of folks will write a very long page. When we do that is when we're trying to sell something. But when we're just trying to get someone to know us, we want it to be short and quick. So now, actually, let me just delete some, let me delete some more. The reason why I want to delete, because I'm going to add a form here and you'll see why in just a moment. So now that we know we're going to add a form, it really becomes, do we want to add a pop-up form or do we want a form directly on the page? Now, if you want to do pop-ups, it's in this section here. I don't want this video to go too long. This is something that you can create. But for our example, we're not going to create a pop-up. We're just going to go to Elements and we're going to embed a form. Now you can embed one from your email marketing system, and you can also integrate your email marketing system with GrooveFunnels. Now for this example, we're just going to take this right here where it says under integrations, and we can take any form that we want. But to make this fast, because I will go through another separate video of how to take an embed form from your email marketing system and hook it up. But for now, there's certain things that we just want working properly, and then we come back through and make it pretty. So I'm going to add this here. And this is a form. I just click it and drag it. We'll put it underneath the text like so. So now I have a form that's asking for your email address, and it's also going to ask for your name or in the message. So we can do whatever we want with the form. The main thing that we need is that email address. All right, so now what I would recommend you do is go through and set up your landing page with your logo. You can update the colors. It's always easy if you keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't try to do too much. But come in here, you can add your logo like I showed earlier. Once you click on edit, this menu pops up and you can quickly configure. You can choose an image, add an image. Come here, put your text. If you don't have, so let's say that you actually don't have a YouTube video, you can get rid of it and we can confirm. We can actually take this button here and we can drag it by clicking the arrow, and we can just drag it up here. And for this section, we can just delete it now. So I might not like that everything so far. Let's actually add a few more edits here. I'm gonna get rid of this background image here just because I don't think it's a good fit. So there we go, just to add a little bit of difference there. And let me change this background color to a lighter gray. Nope, that's not gonna work because of that. Yeah, so we'll just do something like this, just so that you can see. Once again, I'm not trying to design a page. I want you to do that. Take the time that you need to go through and click on a section, make it what you want. I really care about people being able to come to your page and click on the buttons, enter their information, and then get into your marketing funnel. But if you start with what's already designed, you're going to do well. You're going to do great. And that's really the goal here. So what I want to focus on now is I want, whenever someone clicks on this form, whenever someone clicks on any of these buttons here, what I want to happen is for it to automatically scroll down. The reason that's important is if you look at this page, actually, let me open it up as a preview. And now that I'm previewing this page, and I just clicked the little eyeball there on GrooveFunnels, but if I'm looking at this and I'm on a mobile device, this page is going to be long. So I want, whenever I click that button, to automatically take me here. So that's why we want to set that up, and let me do that and show you how to do it. So what we would want to do is create something called an in-page link. Now what an in-page link does is it's going to link to a section on the page. So we know the name of the page because if I go to publish here and I select Traffic Champs as the domain I want to use, so I can click that, and now it already gives me this whole link. I want to copy this link right here because this is exactly what we set up earlier. If you remember, I have the 3 pages, and one is free guide, another one is booking free guide, and then thank you free guide. But because this is the opt-in page, I want when someone clicks this link to stay on this page. So the way that we do that is we click on the button, we click edit. Let's try that again. Click on the button, click edit, and under configure. So I'm highlighting the button. You can see it says button right here. I click on configure. And then what I want to do for this button, I want to link to a URL, which I just copied it. I'm going to paste in the URL of the website domain /free guide, because that's the page that we're on. And then what I'm going to do after free guide is put a hash symbol, and then we will just call this YT form. And what that means is YouTube form, because I'm on YouTube and I'm showing you the form link. So once this is done, I will click update. And what that means is now that button is linked to the hashtag YouTube form. Now, how do we get people to go to that section on the page? Keep watching. I'm silly sometimes. All right, here we go. So now here's the form. We want to click on the form. And let me show you. So if I click here inside this part, right here, you'll see it kind of shows I'm on input. I don't want to be on input. So there's a little arrow that I can click and it takes me to the container. I want to link to the container. So even here, if I click on the text that says email, you see how it says label? Don't want to be on label. I want to be on container. So I click this little up arrow. Now I see it says container, and I want to go to configure. Oop, no, I don't. I want to go to design and then custom attributes. Here, this is what I want to put. This is where the magic app happens. I'm going to take that, I think we called it YT form. So now I'm giving this an attribute. So whenever I put in YT form, whenever someone clicks the button at the very top, it's going to scan the page for an ID. Let me close this. It's going to see where it says elements ID attribute. It's going to scan the page for something that says YT form. And it's going to find it right here in this section. So all I have to do now is click save. And whenever, it will take a moment. It'll take a moment for that to work. But now, whenever someone clicks this button, it will automatically scroll down to here. So I wanted to show you that in this video, because in the next video, we're actually going to start working on the form, the automations, the redirects, all those things. But in this one, now I think you have enough to where you can, take the next day or so, work on the design of your landing page. We have the buttons linked up, so you have an idea of what's going to happen is that we do want a form on this page. And we don't have to have the button there. This actually could just be a form right there. But if you want to use a button, that's what we'll need to do. So at this point, you can work on getting your landing page set up for free. It's going to take a few days for our domain to actually start working. So in the next video, we're going to work with a domain that's actually working. And then I'm going to show you how to make your landing page send someone to the thank you page. So as you see, they're here. Once they click this button, it's going to take them to the form. But what happens once they put their email and their name into that form? Well, that's what I'm going to show you, because we're going to want to redirect them to either this page to book something, or we redirect them to the thank you page. So that's what we're going to do in the next section. Go ahead and decide if you're going to have a booking page or a thank you page. Build all of these out, build both pages out, and then in the next video, I'll show you how to do that. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. There's tons of video on how to make your landing page look great, but this is really to get you over the hump, get the landing page out there. Most people create stuff and they create marketing assets and they never launch it. In this video, it's really about getting it done, getting your first funnel done. Everything's set up now, and we're going to be cooking with fire. So drop a comment, let me know what questions you have, and I'll see you in the next video.